Hello! Welcome back to the friendly confines of our studio after a wild 72 hours in Vegas and no top 5 yesterday because Kyle Whittingham demanded that we air his interview in that slot because it gets a lot of views. I'm not going to lie. And Kyle Whittingham, he's all about social media. He's on the TikTok and the Instagram. He's a Snapchatter. You know that about good old Kyle Whittingham. No, we just ran out of time. Yes, honestly, we had so much stuff. We ran out of time. We had a really hectic day. So back with the top 5 things today. Top 5 things I learned at Big 12 Media Days, of course, presented by our good friends at Texas Beef House. Use our code SICK'EM10 for 10% off of your order. Number 5, Deion Sanders thinks the Buffs can, quote, dominate. I would stop short at dominate. I think they will be better. I think he still probably has some work to do on his coaching staff to get them up to snuff. Head coaches have to coach coaches, and Deion does that. I think that's a big thing for them. They have a ton of electric-type playmakers. What I don't know that they have a lot of Deons, right? They have Travis Hunter, and they have his kids, and they've got other guys that are Deons. But Deion didn't make his whole career happen by himself. There were very large men in front of him that made that stuff kind of, that went in Congress. He knows this, and they need to be better. But dominate, that comes up front, and that was the thing they were the worst at, maybe in the entire country last year. They did not block, they did not tackle very well. But if he thinks they can dominate, I'll believe now. Number 4. Sonny Dykes thinks TCU has been forgotten. He was very candid about that. And look, he understands why. They had a bad year. He was also very candid about why he thought he didn't do a very good job of building the team chemistry last year and getting the right fit culture-wise for the guys that they brought in. That is remedied. Garrett even made mention to me last night, we're on our way back from the airport in Austin, how much he raved about Josh Hoover. It wasn't Josh has to earn it with wins. One of the best quarterbacks he's been around were the words he said. So if that turns out to be true, and look, no coach comes in and goes, dear God, why do we have to play this season? Can we fast forward to 2 years from now where I think we'll be good? That's not what they say, but I've learned to take Sonny Dykes at his word pretty well. He's not a guy who blows a lot of smoke. So if he's saying that Josh Hoover's the dude, that's going to be interesting to see if Sonny Dykes is right. Number 3, Jalon Daniels is healthy. He doesn't want to talk about his back. He doesn't want Lance Leipold to talk about his back. He is fine. And that is great news, not just for Kansas. It's not bad news probably for the other 15 teams in the Big 12. But it's great news for college football because this guy, legit Heisman candidate, if he plays 11 or 12 games. Like, if he plays a whole season, this dude should be a Heisman candidate based on what we've seen from him. What we haven't seen from him, though, is that full season. But a full season, healthy, I think, those things lingered for a couple years. They shut him down to get better. If that worked, he's healthy, and he will tell anybody who asks that he is. So if we're to take him at his word, scary times when you play the Jayhawks this year. Number 2, Dave Aranda's totally changed his approach. We actually got a chance to talk to Dave a lot, and we had a technical difficulty that you didn't get to see the interview, but he kept saying getting back to ball. And he was doing all these administrative things. Now that he's calling plays on the defense, he's got a different approach, a much more hands-on, involved approach in things, is more to the executive role that he was trying to do previously. Now, look, he still has to make up for the fact that, after they won in 21, he didn't get in the transfer portal when they were hot. The recruiting class he had wasn't good and did not match a team that had just won the Big 12. And then the one in the year after, which is usually the better one, than the one that when you win the Big 12 or win a conference, usually it's the class after that because now people are excited about you. Those two classes haven't really worked out for him. He admitted to that, but they have to make up for that somehow. Have they made up for it? I don't know, but I can tell you his approach has changed. They were actually on our flight last night because their flight got canceled, so we got to talk to Dave just a little bit more, and you could just tell some different things. As a matter of fact, he was coaching up the linebackers sitting there and while they were waiting for the flight. So this, talking about football, talking about ball, that's what he was doing. And so we'll see. If there's anybody who can do it, I think it's Dave Aranda. I'll be honest with you. I know that everybody has the right to have their doubts, but this is a really smart dude, and he's going to figure it out. Number 1, Cam Rising is ready to rock, man. He's out there throwing darts at BYU. This dude hasn't played football in a year. He is intense, ready to go. I cannot think of a better match of coach personality and quarterback personality than Kyle Whittingham and Cam Rising. They are peas in a pod, absolutely. And Kyle Whittingham can kind of stand back and be the measured, staid coach, and then this guy can be, Willie Nelson out there. I mean, I was trying to figure out his vibe. It's either Willie Nelson or
he's like a Waylon, man.
Like Waylon, yes, Waylon Jennings. Waylon's the guy who will talk noise. Yeah. Waylon Jennings. That's his vibe. He's got a very Waylon Jennings vibe to him. And when you're out there, ready to get the entire BYU fan base mad at you, when they already are, their default setting is mad at you. Now he's taken them from mad to enraged. And politely enraged, of course, as they are at BYU, but enraged nonetheless. And ready for that Holy War game. But yeah, we tried to get Cam Rising, we weren't able to, but I did stalk him in a couple of other interviews and listen to him. He's ready to go. You can tell, not playing football for a year has really irritated this dude. That's the top 5. We're back to wrap it up now.